I have just got back from a weekend on board Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas, one of their Quantum class of ships. We are going to be doing a short review looking at the ship, the embarkation, the service, the food, and I always forget the last one, value for money and the ports. This is just our opinion, so
if you've got a different opinion, then pop it down in the comments. As long as you're polite, we love a different opinion. It's our experience, as mentioned, from our 2 cruises. So pop them down below if you think they're talking rubbish. Or I totally agree. Whatever it is, pop it in the comments. Those were the categories, and we will slot it into our leaderboard. At the moment, it's got 28 points. Seaview is leading with 33. But what will happen after we tell you about our experience of our 2-day cruise? And don't forget, very quickly, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and don't forget, this is a cruise channel. We've got so much more cruise content on the way. So hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's first go to Embarkation.
the embarkation was possibly the speediest embarkation that we have ever had on board any ship. We literally walked into the terminal, there were about 3 people ahead of us, went straight through security, and we were on board. So we got there, our boarding time was meant to be 11:30. We got there at 11. The day that we did go, there was a lot of traffic in Southampton, so it did delay a lot of people getting on board. So that might be why it was a little bit quieter. But we were on board the ship within 5 minutes.
Royal Caribbean have got boarding down to a great knack on the app, and big round of applause for those. We have no complaints. We're going to give it a 5 out of
5.
The ship.
It was very interesting. So when we went on Anthem of the Seas 18 months ago, I think even by the last day, I couldn't find my way around the ship. I just thought it was absolutely ginormous. Going on this time, and maybe from being on World Europa, it seemed really small to me. It's not small at all. But yeah, really easy to navigate the ship.
Yeah, some big plus points. I love the central promenade, the Royal Promenade. That is the sort of central part of the ship. I love the 270 at the aft where they have the shows in the evening, and then it's beautiful in the day. They call it a living room, and it is kind of like a living room. It's got sort of living room chairs. It's got stunning views out to the back. Indoor pool area is really, really good. I'm not sure why they got rid of it on the other later quantum class ships. The solarium, we were adults only, and that was a big benefit. It's a lovely, and even when it was busy, it was nice. The solarium bistro as well. We found that was nice and quiet until they moved the queues from the Windjammer, and that is a great place as well. Kids can go, don't forget that, in the bistro solarium. They're not allowed in the solarium, but they are allowed in the bistro. Lots of cool artwork around the ship.
Yeah, really quirky ship. Lots of different things.
Yeah, so there was loads and loads of positives. But of course, with positives, let's touch on some of the negatives. Would you say around the ship that it was, Rachel, it's 2015, so it's approaching, so it's 8 years now. Would you say it's tired at all?
The actual ship itself, no, I wouldn't say it's tired.
No, I wouldn't. I think it's kept up together really, really well. Quantum class ships generally are quite inward looking. There is not much sort of sea views and looking outward. That's the only thing I would say. So sometimes, you'd like to see more of the sea. Do you agree?
Yeah, you do you don't really feel like you're on a ship when you're inside, do you?
No. And one other thing, I think only because it's Royal's fault really, because they have now got better quantum class ships and they've got more things on. For example, the Seaplex on board has now got playmakers in it, and I think I would more go to the Seaplex other times because it's got playmakers in it. It's more of a venue. So small things like that. It's only just because they've been added, and I'm sure they will be when it gets refit for newer quantum class ships. So if you are looking for the sort of brand new quantum class, then maybe Anthems are not for you. But in general, we love Anthem, don't we?
Yeah, it's a really nice ship. And just before we move on to the next subject, just want to say, so this was a 2-day cruise. So they are often called the booze cruises. We went without kids, so we had an amazing time. If we had had the kids, it might have been a little bit of a different experience because there were a lot of groups of people on board celebrating stag do's and hen do's. However, we really, really enjoyed it.
And I thought the ship handled it well.
Yeah, and
we'll get on to service. Yeah, we'll get on to service. some ships don't handle 2-night cruise because they're a bit crazy, but I think Anthem held it really well.
Yeah.
So in general, I would say we're going to give it a 4 out of 5. We move on swiftly now, Rachel, to the cabin. Let us know what you think.
So the cabin itself was a very nice cabin, nice and roomy, really nice bathroom, really comfortable beds, had all the amenities in it that we needed, nice sized balcony. Yeah.
There was lots of plus points,
There
wasn't
were
there?
lots of plus points. However, there were quite a few negative points within our cabin. Just small little things that I think the upkeep could have been a little bit better. So the plug sockets, for instance, one of them with a USB port was broken in our room. The sockets themselves were dirty. There were tea stains up the wall in the bathroom. There were stains all over the door. Pillows had stains on the carpet. So yeah, just that what's the word I'm looking for? To detail. That eye for detail. No, not the eye for detail. But yeah, just looking, maybe
fill in the gap. What was that word?
Yeah, what is that word? Eye for detail. No. Sorry. Yeah, I just think that actually they need to go through them a little bit more and clean them. It needed a deep clean, our room. I was a little bit disappointed I didn't have my anti-bac wipes, which I normally have with me.
Yeah, to finish it up, I just think that this ship didn't look like it was nearly 10 years old, but the cabin did.
Yeah.
So that I would say that was a difference. We were on deck 13. You've got the overhang of deck 14 on the balcony. So although I like the size, the length of the balcony, I did find it a bit dark, and that does make the room a little bit dark. So watch out if you are on deck 13.
And also where people are above you, we only did notice it once. People running above the room.
Yeah, I didn't really notice, but yeah, maybe on a 2-night cruise, not many people were running on the running track.
No, they weren't.
But 3, deducting because it was a little bit dark. It was a little bit
warm. It was a bit
warm. But it did the basics. It did the basics well, so we'll give it a middle score of 3 out of 5 for the cabin. To the service on board, and lots of positives to this one. Rachel, the positives for the service.
Staff were really, really friendly. We could always get a drink. A lot of people were really worried, again, being that it was a booze cruise, that we wouldn't be able to get drinks. However, there was loads of pop-up bars everywhere. You just handed your card over and they did that. The cabin steward was really good. He introduced himself, considering it was, again, a 2-day cruise. We thought that was really good.
He gave me a 10-minute speech. It was very good.
Did he?
Yeah, it was really good. It's really nice. Yeah, I agree. Everything was very. You can tell it's when you cruise quite a lot. You can tell a happy ship.
Yeah.
And the crew seemed happy.
Really happy.
I was just having conversations, but normal conversations. A lot of times, I'd never ever criticise crew because they're always hardworking. We never had ships where they're not hardworking, but you do recently. Sometimes on some of the ships we've been on, there isn't enough crew on board. There isn't enough staff. And also the crew just seem overworked. That makes them unhappy. And this was a happy ship.
Yeah, a really happy ship. Everyone said hello every time we walked past a member of staff. Hi, how are you? Yeah, it was a really nice atmosphere.
Yep.
And I think the staff are a massive part of that.
Our negative column has nothing in it, so that means we give it a 5 out of 5. Next, we go on to food. Rachel, what would you say was the plus points of the food?
But the food we had was absolutely brilliant. The buffet had loads of variety. The MDR we didn't go in this time. However, the last time we were on Royal Caribbean, we went in there every night with the kids and could not fault service in there. The 270 have a really lovely salad bar. You can get sandwiches in there.
Fresh wraps. That's a really good.
We didn't have enough time. We didn't have enough time to go in there. Otherwise, I really would have liked.
But I walked around it. It looked really, really nice. We went on there before, didn't we? Yeah, that's just by the 270. It's really, really nice. Yeah. The Solarium Bistro. Yeah, that was really nice breakfast. Nice. Good alternative. So if there's lots of the Windjammer, head down to the bistro.
Yeah. The only thing, as Tom did say with that, so the Windjammer was so busy that I think someone basically just said, everyone head down to the Solarium, and then there was a massive queue to get into there, but we got in there very quickly. Yeah, brilliant. And as I just like to say about the buffet was really good in the evening. A lot of cruise lines, including P&O, in the evening, the buffet is pretty rubbish. Yeah. It's an afterthought when it never used to be, but it's really good for a mid-range cruise line. Yeah, loads of variety, something for
Loads of
everybody.
variety, yeah. So they're really good. Just some improvements. Jamie's was okay. We had Jamie's one lunchtime. It was £40 for lunch. It was just okay. Nothing really wowed me there. I know they're replacing the Jamies as they go along. They didn't refits, but it was all right. But I wasn't for a speciality restaurant. I like to have a little bit of wow. It wasn't wow. It was just okay. And I would say as well, I'd like a little bit more variety with the speciality restaurants. I wouldn't mind like a Mexican maybe or an Indian. Just something a little bit more variety. But speciality, I just knock it down just slightly, but just a half mark for that. So, but in general, you will eat well.
You will, yes.
What score did we give it, Rachel?
We gave that a 4.5.
4.5. Tasty. So next up, we go to entertainment. Were you entertained?
Yeah, it was really nice having just the two of us and actually doing everything that we wanted to do. Normally we're running around in arcades, in the swimming pool. So it was nice to, I think on the second day we did every quiz that was on board. We were rubbish at the Harry Potter one, good at the Disney one, and we won the Divas one.
Campione. Yes, it was good. I think there's lots. You could literally go from. Hopefully, this is on a normal week and 2-week cruise, but you could go to different venues and do different quizzes. There's loads on in the daytime compared to our last cruise with MSC, where they just do dance classes. There was loads going on. That was really, really good. And of course, you've got a lot of included things which are not included again on other cruise lines. The bumper cars, the climbing wall, flow rider, ripcord obviously on the port days is included, and North Star is included as well. So I think that's brilliant. That's really, really good. So there's you're not going to get bored, are you?
No, and just from what Tom was saying there with North Star, don't forget that if you're at sea, you pay for North Star, but actually if you're in port, it is included. You just need to get on the app really early in the morning to book it.
And of course you pay because they go out to the sides. It's really, really good experience.
Yeah, so I would like to experience that.
Yeah, we will do. We will do at some point. So yeah, lots going on. On the improvement column, I would say now you can look at this as a good or a bad. Royal Caribbean tend to, on each ship, they will have a Broadway show on, and they will stick with that show 5-10 years or however long they've got the license for. Now, if you're a cruiser that just goes on one ship and that's it, or maybe two, and it's a really, really good show, it's amazing because it's Broadway standard. They are, the creme de la creme, really good shows. But if you go repeat cruises, you're a bit like, I want to see something else. So for us, on a second cruise, we didn't watch We'll Rock You because we've seen it twice. So for us, it's a slight negative, but if you're going on for the first time, you're going to be amazed. Do you agree, Rachel?
Yeah, and I'd like to say as well for Spectra. When we saw that the first time round, I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really know what was going on. Second time round, I really, really enjoyed it and thought it was really good. Yeah. But yeah, again, as Tom said, with We Will Rock You, it's an amazing show, don't get us wrong, but we've seen it in West End, we've seen it on the ship.
So for our own personal
opinion,
there I would like slightly more variety in the shows change, but we understand obviously it costs a lot of money and the productions are amazing. So if you're going on for the first time or even the second time, you will love We Will Rock You. So just for that point, a little bit more variety, but the rest of entertainment was amazing. 4.5 out of 5.
Agreed.
Do you concur?
I do concur.
That's nice. Ports. We're going to quickly do ports. We very unusually have been on twice and we haven't got off, only in Southampton. The first time we covered this before, so we've quickly just covered this, was in COVID, and Royal had a bit of a silly rule that you had to get off in excursions. Excursions are through the roof price-wise, so we stayed on board, even though we'd like to have discovered Liverpool and Belfast.
It was only the children.
Yes, the children had to go.
We could have got off, but the kids couldn't get off.
But they were with us. So we didn't get off that time. And then this time we were only on a 2-night cruise. We had the drinks package and we wanted to discover all of the ships, so we didn't get off in Le Havre. So we have not experienced ports, but we're just going to give it a general score. In the summertime, it goes out of Southampton. We've got fjords. It's got Mediterranean. It's got some great ports. And in New York in the winter, and then it's off to Singapore late 2024. So we're just giving it a general score of 3 because it's got good variety, okay? Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Moving on to value for money. So Royal Caribbean, I'd say a little bit more expensive than some of the cruises we normally go on.
Top of mid-range, I'd say.
Yeah, so we booked this one because we previously had booked a transatlantic and then cancelled it. So we had lots of future cruise credit. So we booked this one for ourselves. We paid 600.
620. We paid 280 for the drinks package, and we paid 180 to upgrade to a balcony cabin. So we're knocking off, and we paid 40 for Jamie's lunch. So we're knocking it over £1,000. Now, obviously, the upgrade was our choice. So it is quite expensive for. So we're heading. So with a drinks package and all the extras, we're talking just over £500 per night. No, per cruise.
Per cruise?
Yeah, 500 per cruise, per person.
Per person, right? Okay. As Tom said, so we did have the drinks package. A 2-night sailing, they don't normally do that, and there was a bit of a glitch in the system, and we saw it and got the drinks package very, very quickly. So as Tom said, we paid £280 for that. While we were on board, it was really sad, and in my little notes on my phone, I put every single drink that we had while we were on board. So soft drinks, alcoholic drinks, and we would have paid over $650 just on drinks. So actually, that was massively worth it. And we didn't overly drink.
No.
But yeah, I think that made a massive difference. Had we not had that, I think it would have really lessened our experience as well, because we would have been really mindful of what we were spending.
It's quite pricey on Royal Caribbean. You do get pretty good value, but I would say it's just a little bit over than I would have liked to have paid. You agree?
Yeah, I had an amazing time though. So
we did have an amazing time, really, really good time. But I would say in general, it's a 3 out of 5. Let's look at our leaderboard. So we have given, in total, we had an amazing 2 days. It's 32 out of 40. And do you know where that goes? Drum roll, please.
Just underneath Seaview.
In at number 2, it's Anthem of the Seas. Woo! Yeah, if you're going on a cruise on Anthem of the Seas, you'll have an amazing time. And I think, agreed, like you just said, going back to Royal, we'll be looking to do another Royal Caribbean cruise in 2024. Do you agree?
Yeah, and the kids are desperate to go back on Royal Caribbean. They love it.
Yes, so hopefully maybe an Oasis class ship. But hold that thought. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video,
give it a like.
We have some amazing cruise content coming in 2023 and 2024, including Arvia, Euribia, and we're even going to try Cunard. And we've got some amazing princess ships next year, so it's all good.
Very exciting.
Coming up on the screen, we do have our full ship tour of Anthem of the Seas. So click on that. It will be on the screen shortly. And once again, we thank you for watching our cruise review. Don't forget to pop your opinion down in the comments below. Just be polite. If you agree or disagree, we'd love to know. But for now, we've only got one thing to say. Rachel,
happy cruising.